Hey, Breaking Brown family, it's Yvette Carnell coming to you as I do every Monday and Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, take your time to get your popcorn, call your friends, do what you got to do. If you're watching this, we're not broadcasting on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, please share it. Please tweet it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We're trying to hit 20,000. Hit that little bell that will alert you and give you notifications when we're on. So if I do a quick hit or when I come on, if you don't know, it'll just hit you, give you a buzz on your cell phone and let you know that, we're here talking black politics. So if you do that for me, I would appreciate it. And take your time. I send out the newsletter again on Sundays. I do every Sunday. If you want to get subscribed to the newsletter, just go to breakingbrown.com. Breaking Brown is up on the screen right now, breakingbrown.com, and you can subscribe to the newsletter. It's links I come across every so often during the week that I think are good in terms of political education. So if you could do that, that'll be, if you want to subscribe to that, take care of that. It's only $2. It's only $2 a month. Which is 50 cents per newsletter, and I thought that was a great price point for, when I say black people are poor, I ain't playing. I'm just like, black people are poor, but I'm gonna take advantage of them. Like, that's not what I'm doing. That's not my project. So please do that for me if that's something that you're interested in. You can also go to if you want to, you can also donate to us, to what Irony and I do here, and you can continue on to the Breaking Brown page, and you can make a monthly subscription as low as $3 a month. You can make a one-time. If you want to donate too, you can go to donatebrown.com and just donate to what we do. Donatebrown.com. You can do that as well. So just want to get that all out of the way. Oh, one more thing. I will be in Kentucky at Simmons College on the 3rd at noon, speaking about Black America and urban America and how we manage what we need to do right now. So I will be, if you're in Kentucky, I'll be at Simmons College. Again, I'll be at Simmons College on the 3rd at noon. That's in Kentucky. So get that out of the way. Another thing I want to say, some of you have asked me, Yvette, when are you used to write, you don't write anymore. Well, the thing about it is I do write a monthly article for Counterpunch. So if you don't subscribe to Counterpunch, maybe you should, and just kind of hear what I have to say. I write a monthly article, editorial, op-ed, if you will, for Counterpunch. So that's where you'll find me in the written word. If you want to see something I write, Counterpunch is the thing to do it. And so I want to get that all in there and get that out of the way. Now, I hope you all have gotten your libations. You have gotten yourself the... Didn't I say Simmons College? Somebody said Kentucky's a big... Didn't I say Simmons College? You can't look up Simmons College. I don't know the address of Simmons College. You can't look it up and just... Look, Simmons College is where I be. It's in Kentucky. Like, you can just look that up. You can't look that up. It's a quick Google. Y'all Google for everything else. You can't find out what Simmons College is? Whew. Anyway. Iron, you ready to find some moderators?
Oh, yes.
If you want to be a moderator, throw your hand up, please. Hey, Zanetta. Hey, David. Hey, everybody. If you want to be a moderator, throw your hand up, please, so Iron can find you. Hopefully one of our regulars. Let's get one of the regulars to come in here. We got a lot to talk about tonight. And we got some stuff that, sometimes stuff comes to me, I don't come to it.
Find you.
I don't, it doesn't come to me. People say, Yvette, I want to hear your opinion on this. Yvette, what are you going to talk about this? And if I get enough emails about it, I say, yeah, it sounds like something I probably need to address. That is the case with Mr. LaVar Ball. That is the case with Mr. LaVar Ball. Now, I don't know. I'm trying to find the best way. Everybody who watches my show know I do a framing. Everything I do is about framing. I frame it and then I come in. I frame it in terms of how I want you to understand this and the perspective I think you should look at this from. So Mr. LaVar Ball has a son. His son is Lonzo Ball. And the son is a great basketball player, and the father has created a lot of controversy surrounding his son and his business dealings in terms of what he wants to do with his son, right? He basically wants to build an empire of sorts. That's what he wants to do. He says he's come into this and he says his son is supposed to be a first round draft pick, great player. And he says some outlandish things about one-on-one with Jordan. He would have beat him. I don't really care about that. I care about what can we learn about black politics and black wealth through the prism of this man and his son. Okay? That's what I care about. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about piece by piece what LaVar Ball said in terms of what he wants. He basically wants a deal for his son. He wants a shoe deal. He wants a clothing apparel deal. But he wants all this. He has some strings attached. Right? He doesn't just want to say, hey, son, go get a deal with Nike or Adidas, who pays you the most. He wants to get his son the best deal possible. He said he wants $1 billion deal. That's something for a Negro to say. I want $1 billion, Lonzo? $1 billion.
He said it with a straight face, too.
He said it with a straight face. And this is what he said in SB Nation. Listen to this. He said, we've said from the beginning, we aren't looking for an endorsement deal. LaVar said, according to ESPN. We're looking for co-branding, a true partner. But they're not ready for that because they're not used to that model. But hey, the taxi industry wasn't ready for Uber either. Now y'all already know how I feel about Uber, so you already know he's gotten off to a bad start for me. You already know that.
But he's trying to do something. He's trying to do something.
He's trying to do something. But he doesn't understand. What he doesn't understand is that he can't do what he's trying to do. Oh, I know what you're going to say. Yvette is throwing water on what I'm trying to do. Yvette is throwing water on what black people are trying to do. And I think I am. But I'm going to tell you in a second, I got a good reason for it. I got a good reason. Somebody said reach for the stars. No, you don't. No. I'm going to tell you exactly why this whole thing of I can dream is more of a delusion. And the sooner we realize that's what it is, the sooner we can do something different. Okay? So what has happened is Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, all of these major brands have basically said, we don't want to work. We don't want to work with Lonzo Ball, the son, but we don't want to be bothered with the father. All this co-branding stuff, we don't want to do it. And you have a lot of people saying, well, that's unfair. Why don't you want to co-brand with him? Why don't you want to do that? Why don't you? I mean, he's going to be a star. Why don't you want it? It's only a little bit of money. It's only you got to give him. You ain't got to give him everything, but you don't want to share. And you're coming to it. You're being very unfair about this. And one thing I will say to you is capitalism has always been unfair. What do you think white capital has been doing? Why do you think your ancestors were enslaved?
So be clear. What does LaVar Ball want?
He wants $1 billion deal.
He wants $1 billion deal. But he wants more than $1 billion deal.
He wants co-ownership.
Yes, that's where the companies were like, you want what? Negro, do you forget who you are?
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, he thinks he has agency. He thinks because his son is a baller that he has agency. So he thinks my son is a baller.
Yes.
So I have agency.
Yes.
So I can make a claim here and say, you're going to do this because my son's going to be Jordan. Or my son's going to be Magic Johnson. Or my son's going to be Steph Curry. So I have a claim. I'm going to come in here.
I have a brand.
With a claim.
I have a claim. You're going to buy my brand. I'm going to be the owner of my brand. And you're going to pay me to run my brand.
Boom.
That's what he said to Nike.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that that's black capitalism. Somebody said, who is LaVar? Listen, we went through that. But he's saying LaVar Ball, who is the son of Lonzo Ball, who is this basketball player, this great basketball player, who's supposed to be the next Jordan or whatever, he's saying, I want to co-do this. I want to do this together. This is what I want to do.
As equals.
As equals.
As equals. You and Nike, we're the same thing.
He's saying that you and Nike, me and Adidas are the same thing.
Yes.
I'm coming in with leverage, and you coming in with leverage, and we're the same thing.
Yes.
He crazy as cat shit. He crazy. Listen, let me tell you something, black people.
You're saying he's not equal with Nike?
No. He's one man. Let me tell you something. He's one man with a mutant son who's a dribbler. He's a dribbler. Being a dribbler does not make you equal to a corporation that's been around for years with a bunch of capital. It does not make you equal because you got a dribbler kid who just happened because you were tall and LaVar plays sports too. So because you were tall and you were strong, he's tall and he's strong. He's a mutant. Y'all both mutants. That's okay. But y'all are mutants. That doesn't give you leverage in a capitalist society. It just doesn't. And so, one thing I need people to understand. I need you all to understand. Let me just, I want to kill something right now. Can I kill something right now? Can I just kill something? Because there are a lot of zombie myths. There are a lot of zombie myths going around. He is a mutant. I didn't say mute. I said mutant. M-U-T-A-N-T. But there are a lot of zombie myths going around. There is no such thing as black capitalism. It doesn't exist in any real way. How you gonna have black capitalism when the people with the capital are white? And please don't tell me about this $1 trillion buying power, because it don't exist. That's the money used for purchasing goods. That's not the wealth that you have in your account. That's not the land that you own. That's the money that you use to buy stuff you need from your employer. It's measuring like income that you use to buy soap. That's not wealth.
I think it even counts student loans.
It does. It counts student loans. That's not. Nobody else counts their. And it was. Do you know it was invented by marketers? The people who keep that number, the $1 trillion in wealth, was invented so that marketers could convince us that we have money, so we will go out and spend it. That's how slick they are. But no. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. Let's go back to Lonzo and LaVar. Okay. Your son does not give you leverage. I think what people don't understand is that LaVar doesn't understand that he's one man against all these white corporations. We're talking $1 billion companies here, and all you have is one mutant dribbler. That's all you got. Let's be real about what it is.
Well, he's got 3.
Yeah, you got 3. You got 2 more coming.
Yeah, he's got 2 more.
The one we're talking about right now. And a lot could happen before the NBA. That you can't be sure if they go. But the one thing we're talking about right now is him and his kid. The one who's in the draft. Like, that's what we're talking about right now. You don't own, here's the thing. You don't own land. You don't own resources, LaVar. You don't own distribution, LaVar. You don't even own a manufacturing company that produces a shoe already, LaVar. You don't have any of that. You don't have any of that. And those people that you turned down or who didn't do a deal with you, they got all of that. They got the shoe and apparel deal locked down. You have none of that. All you have is a dribbler. And I'm just telling, I put it like that, like a mutant, because I want you all to break it down. Y'all think he really got something that's an asset. If they told Lonzo he can't be in there, the NBA would still, I think it's a dying sport, just like the NFL is, but it would still be okay for right now. They don't need you. Like, I don't know how we got into this idea that these people, the capitalists, need us. Capital don't need nobody without capital. Why in the world would capitalists need people without capital? Why? Let's have a thought experiment. Let's say you had a bunch of money. You had a company that grossed $100 million a year, and somebody came to you with no money, no distribution, no production, no land, no manufacturing. And they said, I'm going to get this from you because, this is what you owe me. This is what I got some leverage. And they brought in something that was just basically human, a human capital. What would you say? Like, sometimes you have to put yourself in their position. What would you say? Wouldn't you be like, no, I don't need that. I don't need you. And that's the position that he's in right now. $1 billion contract. Says he wants his son to play for the Lakers. Says he doesn't want his son to wait 5 years for a shoe deal. Well, my son have a shoe deal right now. I want my son to wait 5 years. I see other people wait 5 years for a shoe deal. I want my kid to have a shoe deal now. You don't have any agency, though. You don't have anything they look for somebody to partner with.
So LaVar Ball is one man.
Yep.
Right? He's one man.
Yep.
Now, and he's one man who's been really hard and good on his sons, so they're very good ball players. Now, black politics, if he had a 15-year strategy 15 years ago, right now he would be more than one man. He would be able to go to Nike and say, look,
yep,
I have built up organizing in LA for the last 15 years. I've been throwing breakfasts for kids. I've been going to lunches. I got every black person in Los Angeles has my back, and they will do what I say. They will shut you down if you don't treat me right.
Yeah.
Then he'd have some leverage.
Then he has some leverage, but he don't have no. And let me just say
he
this.
thinks he's one guy. He thinks he's independent.
Yeah, he thinks he can do. Like you watch him on TV, and he's like, it's all
About
this
him,
sort of arrogance. This is my kids, he's my boy, and I'm proud of what you did for your boys.
Right.
I think you did a good job of raising your boys and making sure that they're. When I saw Lonzo on TV, he was very humble and he was very well spoken. I think you did a good job with your boys. But understand, that's it. You don't get to go past here. You don't get to go past go. And somebody said, well, can't mutants negotiate? He can negotiate his contract. Yes. But he can't negotiate with a company that has apparel all around the world and say, you're going to be. Because basically what he's saying, understand what LaVar is saying. He's saying, you're going to build my company, Nike. You're going to build my company, Adidas. You're going to build my company, Under Armour. No white capital is going to build a black company. No white capital is going to build a black company. They're never going to do it. And there's no reason why they have to do it, because we don't have enough. Okay? That's not going to happen. And I'm going to say, and now I'm going to get into something that's probably going to be sort of controversial, but that's the way the cookie falls all the time. Okay? What I'm saying is, I'm going to ask you a question. I've seen a lot of you, I'm even watching the comments now. And there's some of you, some, not all, who are kind of rooting for LaVar. And I want to ask you a question that, you might not have thought about. I want to ask you, why? No, you're rooting for him just because he's black, right? You're rooting for him because he's a black person and you want to see black people own stuff. But we've been here before. Let's kind of backtrack. Let's backtrack. We've been here with Magic Johnson. We've been here with Michael Jordan and a few others. So, I think the best thing to do right now is to talk about, let's have a couple of case studies where we talk about Jordan and we talk about Magic Johnson and we talk about who they were and what they did and what they earned and the businesses that they built, how that benefited the black community. Are we ready to have an honest conversation? What you think, Ira? You ready?
Can we turn it? I want to, because people have mentioned Ray Charles, right? They're like,
go to it.
Ray Charles wanted to own his own masters.
Yep.
He wanted his own masters. He didn't want to work for some white company, and he got to do it. Why can't LaVar Ball do it?
Let me tell you something. Do you understand that capital is at the strongest point it's ever been in the world? And I don't even have to say white capital, because capital is white capital. It's at the strongest point it's ever been in the history of the world. I've mentioned Thomas Piketty's book before. Understand that even with Ray Charles, though, that was his music. You don't have a production company where you're saying, I create shoes and I manufacture shoes, and I want you, Nike, to take the shoes that I'm manufacturing and make them my son's shoes, because my son's been wearing my shoes in high school. That's what Nike has to say, oh my. Like, he's actually created a brand for himself, and we want part of it. That's not what's happening. All you got is a picture of shoes. He said, I have a prototype for a new shoe. A prototype for a new shoe ain't a new shoe. That's like, I remember Kanye West sent out a message. I should have got the image. I didn't think about it. He sent out a message talking about, I want IKEA. I have a new bed design. I want IKEA to take this bed design and do it for me. I want IKEA to do this. And it wasn't a bed design. It was a drawing of a bed. Beds are designed by architect. You can't. Kanye, he was like, I want IKEA. IKEA got who they need for beds. They don't need you to draw a picture of a bed on your Instagram and say, I want to be with IKEA now. You have no leverage. You don't even have any skill in that department. It's like you have family members who have designed shoes for a long time.
Someone on YouTube says Steph Curry can't even sell shoes. Who do you think you are?
He can't. Every time they come out with a Steph Curry shoe, listen, they make fun of it. They be like, look at that orthopedic shoe. But even if it's designed right, everybody's been trying to recreate what Michael Jordan did in terms of the shoe and the lasting legacy of the shoe, the tennis shoe. the basketball shoe. Nobody's been able to do it. Even the LeBrons don't do it. Nobody does what Michael Jordan does in terms of the Jordan does. But everybody's been trying to recreate it. But Steph Curry can't sell a shoe. But your son, who looks a lot like Steph Curry, you think he gonna sell a shoe? Why?
He's gonna sell your shoe.
Yeah, your shoe.
He's gonna sell
Your shoe.
And Nike's gonna help him do it.
Based on what? Based on what? No, Steph Curry shoes get clowned all the time. Based on, I mean, and here's the thing. When we look at, I just want to go back to, I really want to deconstruct this, right? So I want to go back to Magic Johnson. I want to go back to Michael Jordan. I want to go back to what they did and talk about how we benefited. Now, I want to ask you a question. Magic Johnson had a series. Y'all remember he had theaters, he had Starbucks, he had all kind of things. He was everywhere doing everything.
Oh, businessman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah, I grew up in LA in the 80s, man. Like, yes.
You right around
we
there.
were magic people. 3P. Yes.
Somebody said Steph Cockroach shoes. But yes, so here's the thing. I want to ask you, what is the difference? Now, I think he sold to Starbucks since then, but y'all got all excited and y'all went and bought overpriced coffee. Overpriced coffee because Magic Johnson had Starbucks. That's what y'all did. Don't lie to me. You went and bought overpriced coffee because Magic Johnson owned Starbucks. So it was okay to go and buy $5, $4 coffee with foam. Why? Because Magic, that's what you did. That was stupid. Own it. So what I'm saying to you, I'm asking you a question. What is the difference between Magic Johnson owning a Starbucks and a white person owning a Starbucks? If you're an employee at Starbucks, please tell me the difference between Magic Johnson owning a Starbucks and a white person owning a Starbucks. There is no difference. So when I ask you why you're rooting for LaVar, I'm just trying to figure it out because there is no benefit for us in terms of that. There is no benefit for working class people, black people. There is no benefit. You're going to get paid the same minimum wage that you would get paid at a white company. What's the difference? So why are you rooting for someone who is not rooting for you? Or who is not, he never said to you like, well, I want to employ people in the black community. I want to put black people to work. That's what I want to do. And I want to make this a black. He never said that to you. He never said that to you. So why are you rooting for him? As an individual, here's what I say. Individual uplift is not community uplift. Just because Michael Jordan or LaVar Ball or Lonzo Ball or Steph Curry get on, that ain't got nothing to do with you and whether or not you can pay your light bill. That ain't got nothing to do with you and whether you're going to get the lead out your water. That ain't got nothing to do with you and whether or not your people who you voted for are going to stand up for you. That's got nothing to do with you and whether or not the people like Obama is gonna cut millions and millions of dollars out of food stamps. That has nothing to do with you. Divorce yourself from these people. They gonna be all right. Are you? So I think if you go to clip 3, I think it's on there. Like Magic Johnson. Let's talk about who these people are. I mean, I think that's what we don't do enough. We just talk about the fact that, woo, they got money. I want money. They got money. I sure would like some money. He must be smart. He rich. No. What they're doing is leveraging these people to sell you crappy products. Do you not understand that the Jordan shoe is so overpriced? It's so overpriced. It's made by the same little Chinese fingers that make all these other $40 shoes. It's overpriced because they put a little jump man on it. That's all it is. It's an overpriced shoe. Just like Starbucks was and still is overpriced coffee. Okay? So these people like Jordan and Magic Johnson are leveraging their celebrity to sell you overpriced stuff. And black people weren't even into Starbucks at the time he bought it. So he's bringing in a whole new market into white capital. That's their job, to get black people coming into white capital. Come on, bring your dollars. I got this Starbucks, it's got caramel, and it's owned by a black man. He's not gonna tell you I'm just buying it to sell it. He's not gonna tell you I haven't been here long. His job is to put a black face on a white product. Let me say that again. His job is to put a black face, and somebody said, Kanye, yeah, that too, to put a black face on a white product and get you in the door and get you buying. Everything is to separate you from your money, separate me from my money. That's what this is about. You have to understand that this is about using black people to separate you and me from our money. That's all it's about. And so when you look for examples of that, you can look at Magic Johnson. He put his name in Chicago on a diploma mill.
I'm looking at that picture. I see Jalen Rose, who I like, but he's a 6'9" point guard who,
He's
moved
a mutant. Don't call him a 6'9" point. He's a mutant.
He's a mutant. You got Deion Sanders, who can run a 4.3 40 and play baseball and football.
Football, yep.
Yeah, you got Magic Johnson, and you got, was that P. Diddy? I don't want any of those people actually teaching like my high school math class. They're all running charter schools. But I don't want any of them teaching me history.
And they're not in it to teach you anything. They're in it just
to hustle. But they're running schools. People might get confused.
Yeah, they're in it just to hustle though. Like it's a good hustle. This is like a great hustle. Like they're in it to hustle. Like you think about the fact that this is like in the Magic Johnson school we talk about.
Do any of those people know calculus? Like I don't
calculus?
know. Well, I'm just saying they're talking about schools. So like these are not people who are known for education.
No,
like, this is Jalen Rose. He's got a great mouth. Deion Sanders, great. He could both run and catch a ball.
Yeah, if it was just sports, I would be fine.
That'd be fine. But they're talking about schools. Magic Johnson didn't graduate college.
No,
but he went to the NBA and did very well. But
teach basketball, teach running, teach exercise, teach PE, nigga. Shit. Oh, I don't need to teach nothing. You don't know that. And but see, that's how they get us though. Because when he went to the charter school, now mind you, this charter school has replaced a lot of teachers with computers. Okay? Now mind you, these are black teachers, mostly female teachers, mostly black women teachers who have lost their job. But y'all don't care. Because Magic Johnson gave it a good face. You don't care. Because Magic Johnson said you don't care that all these veteran black teachers lost their jobs to white, inexperienced teachers at these charter schools, and sometimes lost their job to computers, but you don't care, right? Y'all love y'all some Magic Johnson. He's a good businessman. Well, it's good. It's easy to undermine black people because he got up on stage and was like, well, I learned my math, and that's the first thing I learned. I know a good deal from a bad deal. Ooh, that's what he said, and y'all loved it. I didn't love it. Y'all loved it. Y'all was eating it up. Yeah, he's all right. He's all right. Magic Johnson. He got all these businesses. And I just respect business. I respect business ownership. Since when? But let me just break it down. It's not only that he supported and then gave $250,000 to Rahm Emanuel.
Yeah, that's the thing.
$250,000 to Rahm Emanuel. Is that clip in there? I think that clip's in there somewhere. It's like clip 3 or 4. If that's 3, that's probably 4.
Yeah.
Look at him hugging Rahm. Oh, you gotta look at this. It's coming up. It's coming up. It's coming up. Look, you gotta look at this. You gotta
look at this. I want to do full screen just so we can get the full.
Yes, it's full screen. Look at this man hugging. Look at this big giant mutant man. He hugging Rahm. Let's talk about.
This is not good for black people.
Think about it. When you look at that picture, I want you to think about what the Chicago Police Department has done to black people in that community. You remember the young man they shot down in the middle of the street?
And then kept quiet about it.
Yeah, and then the Daily Beast exposed this huge cover up. You think about the fact of how poor Chicago is, how many teachers have been fired, and this is the man you gave him a donation. You gave Rahm Emanuel a donation. Now you showed up the day before the election to give him a hug. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. You showed up the day before the election to give him a hug, and you gave him a $250,000 donation. Now you know why you gave him that donation? Let me tell you why. You got an $80 million contract.
Yep.
You got an $80 million contract. You know what you got you know what you got a contract for? You know what you got a contract for? Magic Johnson got a contract to do for janitorial services for schools or whatever. And he was paying people less than what they were paid as public employees. So y'all loving this guy, but he's coming in, and most of the janitorial service people were black people. So he's coming in and paying black people less than they would pay his public employees. Y'all love him though, right? Because he's a black businessman. Being a black businessman means being a super capitalist means that you have to devalue labor, especially black labor. You all love a super capitalist, and you want to be a super capitalist without understanding what being a super capitalist means to your community. Being a super capitalist means that you destroy your community. You undermine them.
So let's be clear for the people playing at home. Let's say you had 200 black janitors working in Chicago, working at regular union wages. You know, they got a pension, the whole thing. Good middle class job.
Yeah, good middle class.
Good middle class job. That's replaced by Magic Johnson's people undercutting their salary, taking away their benefits, getting yes. But
Exactly.
we've made Magic Johnson rich and respectable.
Yeah.
And so that's a story we tell ourselves it was worth it because now we have a success story rather than having 200 solid middle class black workers. We've made one Magic Johnson a success.
And it is the difference. It's the difference between like stop trying to create or become individual super capitalists. That's a recipe for failure. That's the setup. That's the con. Stop trying to support these people and become these people. Start working for political community uplift, which means school board, which means running for your city council, which means supporting good city council people. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about community.
And let's be honest, that means getting these black janitors benefits.
And
like, because these are your cousins.
They're in your community. They're your people. I want my people in my community to have benefits.
Yes.
Black people in my community, I want you to have benefits as a janitor. I don't want Magic Johnson to come in and take that from you. And I don't care. It doesn't matter to me that he's black. I don't want him to take that from you. We're like, well, Magic Johnson, good. He got a good contract. He got a good contract. That's great. It ain't great for the people that work for him.
No. All those Chicago teachers that got fired, good public school, 50-year-old black women holding down entire neighborhoods. Because one teacher's salary who
black
lives in the neighborhood will hold down an entire block.
Yep. Like, one good government job can hold down a whole block.
Like one postal worker.
Steady good job. That's what we want.
Yes. But like we gave all that up so Magic Johnson and Jalen Rose could have schools.
Yeah, so he could wear a nice suit and come out there. And y'all, let me tell you something else we got to stop. We got to stop this whole thing where somebody comes out and says something about, I learned numbers. Because that's what he said during the speech. I did it good. You got to stop letting those people dictate stuff to you. You got to stop letting those people say, I got money, and that's supposed to mean something. That don't mean nothing. You can walk up to me right now and say, I have $1 billion. Yvette Carnell don't care. I want to know what you're about, what you're trying to do. I'm not going to just start sniveling at your boots because you got money. My life is short. I can't be here always. What's the average mortality for black people? Somewhere in the 70s. I'm not going to be here always. If I'm lucky, I get here to 90. You're not going to come to me as a woman and be like, I got money. I don't give a what you got. Like, you got to stop just looking up to people because they got money, because a lot of times in our community, those people got money through nefarious ways. I'm just telling you. And it's not just Magic Johnson. That's the thing. Let's go. Let's take the story further. Let's talk about Mr. Jordan. Y'all love y'all Air Jordans. I see you wearing them. Overpriced shoe. Overpriced little raggedy shoe. They ain't no special shoe. But I see y'all wearing them, so I know y'all love them for reasons I can't understand. Now, go to clip 5. You went there? Oh, you got there already. Okay. Yeah. Let's think about what this man did. This man said in his memoir, his biography, that one time I too was racist. That's what he said. I was racist. Now the thing is, let's talk about the power of that comment to white people. The power of that comment is the belief that, okay, anybody can be racist, right? And that you as a black person have agency. And here's the worst, that the race problem that we have in this country is a problem of just a bunch of people, white people and black, who don't like each other. That's what you get from that comment, right? That's what you get, because that's what he gave us. Aside from the overpriced shoes, he gave us this idea in his memoir that, Everybody can be racist, and the problem can be solved with race relations. And that goes all the way back to Booker T. Washington. Remember, y'all, we're going to be talking about that soon. Booker T. Washington and the black community, we're going to address that very soon. We're going to address that soon. But let's talk about this. That was intentional. The whole idea that he thought, and he said that he threw soda on a girl who called him the N-word. Why would you be upset that somebody called you the N-word? So wait a minute. You reacting to someone who called you the N-word makes you the racist? This is how craven Michael Jordan is and always has been, right? This is who he is, right? And he sets it up to where black people have something to blame. Like, we have some blame in this. We have some agency. We're not nice enough to white people. That's what it is. That's part of the problem. That's what he set up. Not that our wealth had been stolen from us.
I think Craig Hodges has something to say to that.
Oh, we're going to talk about Craig. We're going to talk about Craig. We're going to get to that in a minute. But that's what he does. That's what he sets up. He sets up this system where blacks and whites are both to blame. Not to everything was stolen from the descendants of slaves. Wealth was created by us in a time where America was on the upstart and we didn't get anything from it. We got nothing from it, and we're still here now. The wealth is still in the system. The poverty is still in the system. And he don't want to talk about that. He just want to talk about how he was a racist one time because he responded to somebody, a white woman who used the N-word. You see, this is detrimental. And the thing that I will say, some people will say, and I want to get this out of the way right now. This is clip 6, Aaron. I want to get this out of the way right now. Some people will say that, well, the problem, Yvette, is this. The problem, Yvette, is that, he did eventually come around and give some money, $2 million to Black Lives Matter or something. And he said, so he came around. Listen, don't you understand that's the con? He came around. Like, he only came around after he became a billionaire. I come around to aliens after I become a billionaire. I'm like, you a billionaire? He didn't come around. He didn't come around. Like, this is strategic, people. This is strategic. And the problem I have is that we still ride with him. We still ride with him. For what? Like, that's the problem that I have. And so when you ask me, like, well, Yvette, who should be our hero? I think Craig Hodges.
Let's do it.
Craig Hodges.
He's a real hero, yeah.
When you look who is the real hero in this scenario, it's Craig Hodges. Craig Hodges tried to get Magic Johnson, and he tried to get these people to boycott after the Rodney King.
Yeah, Magic Johnson. He made a call out, Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan. He made a call out to them, yeah. And
this article's in The Guardian. If you all get my newsletter, you've already gotten this article. Because I put this out like last week or 2 weeks ago. And then my thing's not coming up now. It would just be writing, and my computer, laptop not coming up right now. But okay. He said Jordan told Hodges when he contacted him and said, listen, we need to boycott because of what's going on in the black community. We need to boycott because of what we're dealing with. Or what our people are dealing with. He said we need to act in solidarity. You had Jordan say, you had Jordan and Johnson say, one said that's going too far, that's crazy, right? And one said that's just too much. Like yeah. we can't do that. Now, when you look at it though, like we're not supporting the one who wanted to do anything for us. We're supporting the ones who didn't do anything for us. When it came time to do something for us, it was Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan who said no. Hodges said yes. So because he said yes and did all that stuff, he went to the White House with George W. Bush, the senior, wearing a dashiki. I don't like dashiki, but he went there wearing a dashiki, and he gave George H.W. Bush a letter about the black community. He tried to do stuff for us.
Yes, he did.
He told the black people, like the black players, like, let's get together $20,000 a piece and help the black community, and they refused. But y'all don't support him. Y'all don't remember him. We don't remember him at all. We just remember. We remember the person we remember the worst of us, and that's the thing that pisses me off. We remember the people who were worst to us and treated us the worst. That's who we elevate. The people who never stood up for us, we elevate them. But we don't elevate Hodges because he's not a multimillionaire walking around in nice suits.
He can play ball though.
He can play ball.
And this is a good segue what you're talking about. The NBA doesn't need great ball players anymore because Craig Hodges was at the top of his game.
And they still shut him down.
And they still shut him down. Because maybe the NBA isn't about basketball.
Yep. It's about social engineering.
It's about social control and Negro control especially.
They would much rather you buy Jordan shoes or go to Starbucks and support Magic Johnson than listen to what Hodges had to say. Or have a bunch of black people listen to Hodges in the NBA and bring the money in. They don't want that. They don't want that. And somebody said, how is this help talking us? Well, you're an idiot. But listen, because I want you to know who to support. We got to start supporting people like Hodges who are trying to pool money. He tried to get out of NBA to pool $20,000 towards the black community. He said, let's pool $20,000 apiece toward the black community. We got to start supporting people who do that. We got to start supporting people who want to use their position to help us. We can't support people who just want to be individuals and get individual money and then come to us after they're billionaires. No, we got to support people like that. We got to support people who want to help us. If you're down for the African American community, descendants of slaves, we got to be there for you. And we got to start being there for people like Hodges. When they start these movements and want to help us and want to do stuff for us, we got to be like, nah, I ain't supporting Johnson or Jordan or whatever. I'm supporting Hodges. He's trying to be there for me.
Right. Because remember, it didn't matter how good Craig Hodges was at basketball.
Yep.
It didn't matter. When white capital wanted to shut him down for being a mouthy Negro.
And they did shut him down. They shut him down. They didn't try to, they shut him down.
They shut him down. And Jordan just passed.
And Magic Johnson. So we get the worst people. We get the people who won't stand up for us. The people who won't stand up for us, that's who we get. We get the people who won't stand, and we celebrate the people who won't stand up for us. Jordan went years, decades without saying anything racial. And we sat through all of it and bought his shoes. What kind of signal does that send? When you don't do anything for us and we still support you. We have to support people who support us, period. If you're not trying to support me, I can't support you. If you're not down for community uplift, you just want to enrich yourself and your family, and you don't want to enrich the rest of the black community, I ain't got nothing for you. Hey, and we got to start doing that.
People are a little bit confused on YouTube. They want us to talk a little bit more how about the NBA isn't about basketball anymore. It's about something else. How you want to do this?
All black sports. Oh. NBA, NFL, let me tell you what it is. It's just to keep you striving. The whole you will note something. You will note something like why isn't everybody Colin Kaepernick? Because Colin Kaepernick don't work for white capital. When he starts taking a knee, it don't work for white capital. Colin Kaepernick is not good for white capital, and that's why he ain't got a job right now. Okay? What their job is to keep you, they get on TV and they all say, well, I just really worked hard and that's how I got over. And their job is to make you believe that if you work hard, you can get over. The only problem is that's a lie. But their whole job is to keep the lie moving. The whole job they have is to keep that lie going as long as they can. They don't get paid to dribble. Nobody care about nobody dribbling, throwing it. They get paid to make you believe, yeah, and get paid to make you live vicariously through them. Look at, y'all see how much they pay LeBron? I don't care how much they pay LeBron, but their job is to do that so that you be like, wow, they pay LeBron all that money. I feel like we can make it. I feel like I'm gonna get back in my studio, which means your room, and start cutting CDs because all I gotta do is just have some grind and some hustle. They get paid to fool you into not understanding that you come from a slave, that we come from slaves, and what the consequence of that is. So as long as they're on TV talking about what they did and how it was all based on hard work, you never think about, these capitalists during that time, they robbed my ancestors. They robbed me. So I don't have nothing. You never get to think about that because these people on TV, these mutes on TV, hopping and jumping around all the time. And they got money. And so that's what you think. So that's social engineering. They're engineering you to the point to where you're docile.
Right.
And you don't really get involved in protest anything because you be like, LeBron got his. So I'm going to get mine. So that's what that is. Now, if you want to ask me what did come from Jordan, like what did Jordan do? I'll tell you, rent to own Jordans. Rent to overpriced shoes. Let's talk about the rent to own Jordans, Ari.
It's up.
Rent to own Jordans. If you want to know what he gave us, there is now, ladies and gentlemen, there is now a place where you can go and you can rent to own your Jordans. You can rent to own your Jordans. Your overpriced little plastic shoe, you can rent to own it. And the reason we have this is because, capital doesn't, I don't even gotta say white capital no more. Capital doesn't want you to say, I don't have enough money. They don't want you to say that.
Because then you might start asking questions and stuff.
Yeah, you smart. You like, I don't have enough money. I can't pay $200 for no shoe. I can't pay that.
It wants to fool you into thinking you have enough money.
Yeah, but guess what? They're going to say, well, if you just pay $25 a month, you too can own this shoe.
So you do have enough money.
You do. So they're going to make it to where you have enough money because they want it. And guess what? There's a company called Affirm, which is doing this rent-to-own Jordan system where you rent your shoes, your tennis shoe. A tennis shoe should never be expensive enough to where you got to rent it. But that's what Michael Jordan gave y'all, expensive tennis shoes. But y'all love him. He's a wonderful businessman. Guess what, though? The company, the employees at the company that does this rent-to-own mess, guess what? It's all white. It's an all-white company.
There's a company here. There you go.
Look at them. Look at them. All white company.
I don't even think they're owning. I don't see anybody
I don't
wearing
see anybody
Jordans.
in there.
Anybody.
Ain't nobody know better. Them people know better than to buy $300 tennis shoe. Who don't know better than to buy $300 tennis shoe? You better not never. If you see me out in public, don't you walk up to me with no $300 tennis shoe on.
So they're making money off of black people thinking that they could buy Jordans.
Yeah.
This group of people I'm looking at right now.
Black people that want to buy Jordans but just cannot afford it.
So you're new slave masters. I'm going to put this up.
You can't find. It's a little black man right there on the left, ain't it? Ain't it a little black man right there, a little black shirt?
Oh yeah, you got the
that one. Bing, 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 bing.
It's probably his idea.
Yeah,
it's probably his idea.
But that's what white capital do. You get a good idea. They put you in the back and they surround you by white people who gonna get paid. That's what happened.
So these are the people who are making money on rent-to-own Jordans.
These are people who are making money off of the fact that you can't get over Michael Jordan. And you can't get over the fact that he wasn't nothing no way. Why can't you just go buy you a regular pair of shoes and call it a day? And let me tell you something. I've said this before, but I want to drive this home. These people are just putting a face on white capital, and that's kind of what LaVar wants to do. He just wants to get paid. He ain't trying to get paid for everybody or try to get paid. He just wants to get paid. And so, with no capital and no product, you want to get paid. With no capital and no product.
As an owner.
And I want to keep driving home that we love the people who do the least for us. You got to start loving the people in your community who do the most for you. Loving the people in your community who do the most for you, who do the most outreach, the most activism, the most coordination, the most trying to get players together and get money. That's who you got to love. You can't love the people who are out for themselves. That's not the way it works. It's not how any of this works. So, it's funny. You got shoe heads on Instagram. And I was reading this book. And put the type. You can put it up. It's called Irresistible. And I was reading this book. And it occurred to me, and it never had occurred to me before. They talked about how Steve Jobs and all these people, the guy from Twitter, all these people never let their kids do this. They never let that. Like Steve Jobs didn't let, you can put that one up to when you get, Steve Jobs never let his kids have an iPad. And so it occurs to me the only reason they're doing this.
But we got one in every school, and
yeah, but because they realize that it's addictive. Like it's addictive. Like that's the point. Like that's the whole point of the product. It's addictive. And you get on Instagram and they got all this shoes and they got all this stuff and you just realize it's addictive. But they never let their kids do it. But they want us to do it. And so I say that to say I think we have to realize, Evan, we have to realize like how we're being taken advantage of. Did you put the phone number up, Aaron? I got a knee problem. I think we have to figure out like how we're being taken advantage of and the ways in which we're being. Anytime, everybody else is people are creating something, but they don't want to use it themselves, it's a problem. I heard myself I'm gonna take off my shopping apps, like on my phone. I don't want no shopping app on my phone. Take it off. I don't want to be bothered with it. Because you don't want your kids to have it, but you want my kids to have it. You want little black boys and girls to be able to buy Jordans online, but you don't want your kids, because you know you created it to be irresistible. You know that's why you did it. Right? So I just don't want to be bothered with that. So, I mean, I'm really interested in kind of hearing like what some of you all have to say. Because, I think people cheer LaVar Ball, not understand that LaVar ain't gonna be there for nobody but LaVar and his kids. But
if this all works out,
he's gonna be there for LaVar and his kids. He's not gonna be there for you.
Right.
No.
And if you got 3 little mutant children that you want to be NBA players and you want you want Nike to run your shoes, you need to do some political work now, because if it's just you on one side of the table, you and your boys on one side of the table, and Nike on the other side of the table, you've already lost that game anyway. You need to come with all of LA. You need to come with all of Detroit on your back.
Yeah.
So
and somebody, somebody said, can we talk about shea moisture? I got some shea moisture products, but I don't know what they were trying. They just trying to. Oh, I mean, it's just messy. It's messy. He was like, well, we gotta move hours. People taking out. We gotta be competitive and all this stuff, man. Y'all, everybody crazy. But yeah. maybe on another episode, people been asking me about this shea moisture thing for a while. And considering I got so much of it, I guess I'll talk about it, but not today.
All right, tell people to subscribe and stuff before we
subscribe. If you're on YouTube right now, subscribe. Please hit the subscribe button. We're at 19,941. Why can't y'all drive us up to 20,000 tonight, please? Go to breakingbrown.com and subscribe. And subscribe to the newsletter. It's $2 a month. You can also make a donation. You can also go through there and make a donation of anywhere from $3 to $50 to $100 a month, whatever you want, to pay for me and I what we're doing here. And you can also go to donatebrown.com and donate to us. For those of you who don't know, like I said, I'll be in Kentucky at Simmons College on the 3rd at noon. Also, for those who don't know, I mentioned at the beginning, but I also write for Counterpunch. So for you who don't know, I do a monthly editorial there as well. I realized at some point that some people didn't know. So that's that.
Let's hear what the people have to say.
And I appreciate the person talking about my bad knee. I appreciate you. You had surgery. I appreciate you so much.
Let's do it. You on? Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Yes.
How you guys? This is Triple D.
Hey.
You guys doing well?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna get a couple of points in here, hopefully. When descendants of slaves made the mistake of looking at figureheads and not looking closely, it's just really bad. It's really bad.
You can't blame
I
them.
recall when the business with Donald Sterling, the racist former owner of the Clippers, when that really got blown up, one of the first comments I heard come out of LeBron James' mouth was to the effect of, we got to hurry to move this over to the back so we can keep making money. And we know that was a $2 billion deal. Personally, I cannot believe that that team was not devalued to no more than what it was when he first invested money in it. Why would you staff a racist and say, here, take all of this money. You deserve it. Really? So when I look at, again, figurehead, be it Oprah, be it Jordan, or whomever, if we don't take a close look and see, and Obama as well, that's what I tweeted when I tweeted your link out tonight, that we have to look and see, are people walking with us or walking on us? And to me, I feel like these megastars, these guys who are on their way to the prosperity that we all should be getting at least a piece of it, they're walking on top of us. I've never bought a pair of Jordans. Never will. Why would I do a thing like that? And I'm not knocking anybody making money, but the concept of you are pimping these poor Asian workers, and then you come over here and pimp these poor black kids and their poor families.
Yeah.
For what?
Yep.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yep.
You're
right.
So we have to really look at it. I hope everybody out there is really, I talk to my friends and I ask them, are they listening to conversation that is statistics based? Before we get into our opinions and the way we feel, listen to Breaking Brown, listen to these people. They give you clear, concise things to think about, and you can go and check them out. They don't just spout a lot of facts. I think your numbers, your subscriber numbers should be way up. I challenge myself, again, people that I talk to, I send them the link to their phone, send to their email or whatever, and I ask them, are you listening and looking at? And being around, the so-called educated group teachers, I'm always curious to see what are they thinking, what are they saying. And I get intelligent feedback to them. Now I have to challenge them, are they sharing the link with people in their circles?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And also share the link. Share the link in your groups. Like a lot of you talk to people in groups. Like share the links. Share the links in your group. Like share the links and be able to stand up for like what we talk about here. Like some of y'all call in and we talk about this stuff. Share the links and stand up for it because we have to move this discussion forward. Right. We're never going to get anything.
And let's be honest. We need to be honest about what we know and what we don't know, and not be ashamed. What do we know about wielding power? Ooh. Let's be there's one reason why it's easy to kind of poke fun at LaVar Ball. But like he's trying to do something, but what do we know about wielding power?
We don't have power because we've never been like have we been Rockefeller in this country? No. Have we been Rockefeller?
No.
Have we been JP Morgan?
No.
Okay. No. Have we been Bill Gates in this country?
No.
Well, how would we know how to wield that kind of power? Like people make fun of black people who don't do it right. But how would you know how to wield power right if you don't have it and it's been kept from you for years, for centuries?
So that's what we're here to help you do it. Black capitalists will say like, look, you just need a business license to run a business. No, man, no. No. To be Bill Gates, it would have been nice to have Bill Gates' father, who happened to be
Bill Gates' school. His school had a supercomputer. Nobody had that then.
Right.
Bill Gates' money, they had him in a community with a rich school because his parents were rich. All that stuff, you would have had to, in order to be Bill Gates, you would have had to been white and been Bill Gates during that time. Like that's what you would have, like all this stuff that we say we want to be, really you just need to say, I should have been white. That's what it is.
Because that's what it means to have a father who's an intellectual property lawyer.
Yeah, that's what it means.
Yeah.
In that era, yeah.
In that era, yeah. So let's just be honest about it. And that's one of the things we're trying to do here at Breaking Brown, actually build our capacity to wield power and wield it in a way that's politically responsible.
Yeah.
So that we know who to support, that we know to support Craig Hodges or Colin Kaepernick rather than Michael Jordan.
Yeah. And
so we know that we should ask people who are supposed to like represent us and be symbols of us what they actually do for the black community uplift, not that's their own status.
Yeah, and what's going to get them rejected?
Yes.
What's going to get you being like, we ain't buying no shoes, no jersey, we don't want nothing you got. I mean, I have problems, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hi, hello, Yvette.
Hi, how are you?
I am well. How are you? I'm very excited to call in today. I'm actually a new subby of yours and been following you for about a month now.
Okay.
And I'm very excited. But I don't know if I have much commentary to offer, but what I do want to say is that as a mother of 3 boys and a black woman, and I have 3 black boys, I would never in my life buy them Jordans, and I never have. And maybe that's the way that I've been brought up, but I would never spend my dime on any type of Jordans for the simple fact that so many have been killed over these shoes. They're not worth it. They cost too much, especially for our generation. All these single mothers that we have, it doesn't make any sense to me. Why would I put all of my money, all my hard-earned investment in some shoes for basically $600 every 2 months for 3 boys. So it doesn't make sense to me. Secondly, I'm very surprised to see that Jordan has actually done something for our community after so many years, over 25 years. He finally did something. And maybe because Chance the Rapper actually proposed and gave so much money to Chicago that he felt obligated to do something. So much criticism has come about him that he felt obligated to do something. It really irks me and peeves me off. I don't know if I can say pisses me off, but it really does. And all of my brothers and sisters, all of my people in my community, I'm from San Diego, and I tell them all, y'all dumb if y'all buy Jordans. You're absolutely dumb. Because I know all of y'all. I'm sorry?
No, I didn't say anything. I just laughed.
Yeah, because I know all of us are struggling to get by. And most of us don't have it figured out beyond paycheck by paycheck. And yet they're still buying Jordans. And he doesn't care 2 shits about it. And secondly, I just wanted to say that I'm not too familiar with the other person you talked about, the other historic football or basketball player. But I just wanted to say that I commend your work. And I'm going to say a steady follower, a contributor. I'm going to share. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to promote. I'm going to put funds in if I can. Because to me, this movement of acknowledgement of our people is so much important.
Thank you.
Important. I'm 33 years old. I'm sorry, Yvette.
No, I said thank you.
Yeah, well, I'm 33 years old. I don't really consider myself millennial, but I guess I'm part in it. And I just feel like, as people, we should be having chapters. Like everybody's talking about, how can black people can come together? How can black people get on the same page? I feel we need to develop chapters. Chapters to where we can all solicit our skills and expertise, whether doctor, nurse, lawyer, anything that you can create, resume creator, entrepreneur, whatever you have, whatever skill you have, we should all be enlisting in some sort of census.
Okay.
To where we can all categorize ourselves and build. Like we should have chapters.
Okay, thank you.
I'm from San Diego.
Thank you.
We can have a chapter from San Diego, and I'm trying to develop that concept, and I'm not really in tune with people too much. I'm trying to come out my circle, in my own skin, but I'm hoping to basically create a movement here in San Diego to where we can all enlist our services and help and promote one another, not in a religious bias, not in a religion background.
Yeah, I got it.
Against
all right.
Other people.
Thank you, Carla. Carla. I appreciate everything you said.
Thank you, Yvette.
No problem. You have a good day. All right. No, the Breaking Brown chapter thing is an interesting idea. I appreciate that.
It's a great idea.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I think that's a good thing. I think maybe we at some point would be beneficial to some point break off into chapters, right? And I just want to make one thing clear that Jordan's donation was beforehand. I think it was like last year or the year before last. But it was, he was a billionaire already. But it didn't come after like LeBron. It was a while ago, so I want to make sure that's clear. But yeah, I think that's a good idea. Yeah, keep it moving.
You're on.
Hello?
Hey,
How you doing, Miss Yvette? How you doing?
pretty good. How about you?
I'm doing well. My name is Q. I'm from Providence, Rhode Island. I'm a long-time listener. I'm a fan. Thank you for what you've been doing for the black community. I really appreciate it. First of all, I was listening to your podcast. I think a couple of weeks ago, there was a caller talking about basically he said that he doesn't see basically black people coming together as a whole. We should, like the last caller said, start our own chapters, and I agree with that. I think we should start, like, I ain't gonna say gangs, but like cliques or something, because I think as a whole it's too late. I'm in these streets, Yvette. I'm trying to, put the word out. Black people should stay together. They don't want to hear it. Tell you the truth, I'm in a middle class area. Latinos taking it over. Dominicans taking it over. Yvette. They are smart. They know how to work together. They know people that for each job, like a mechanic, a plumber, my next door neighbors, they turned their house into a nursing, like a daycare. So you think about that, it's a hustle. They're very hustling. I respect that.
And, you know, they come to me and ask me, how you doing all right? Instead of my own black people, they come to me and ask me how I'm doing. And, you know, I respect that, you know, and it's sad that, you know, black people around my area, I don't know how it is. I'm about to move. I just quit my job. I'm off the corporate plantation. I just quit my job at the Marriott because I couldn't stand the racism. I tell you, I was a janitor, washing floors, cleaning shit off the toilet, you know, and I'm a very smart man. You know, I was in community college. You know, I was a track star. You know, I was caught up in the system. Now I'm living with my mom. I'm 32 years old. I'm a good-looking guy. I have no kids, and I'm still struggling. So all I got to say, you know, God bless you all. You need to have a clicks or something.
Thank you.
That's all I got to say.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Carla. I don't think I want to say, Carla, don't feel bad about living with your mom.
Yeah.
I mean, there was something in your tone, Carla. I know you didn't mean it to be there or whatever, but there was something in your tone that was kind of sad, you know, and was kind of downtrodden. But don't let this beat you down. Like, understand that you didn't do this. Like, this was something that was done to you, right? So I don't want you to feel bad. Like, I'm a good-looking guy. I work hard, and I'm back with my mom. I'm cleaning shit. Like, I just don't want you to feel bad about this. Like, it's your fault. Like, understand that you haven't been the actor. You've been acted upon. And the people who are supposed to kind of, as politicians and leaders, protect you from that haven't. So I just don't want black people to feel bad about what's happening to them. And like, because I'm having to live here or whatever, I'm having to live in this space. Like, I just don't want you to feel bad about it. Like, that's my main concern. My main concern right now is black people's mental health, right? Because, like, you know, you got so many black capitalists making them feel like, you know, I was watching somebody the other day on YouTube and they was just making somebody feel bad for not having nothing. And it's just like, no, you don't understand the politics of it all. You don't understand how this came. You don't understand this was intentional. So I just don't want black people to feel bad about what they've been robbed of. Like it's our fault. It's not.
Hello?
Hello?
Hey.
Hello?
Hey.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, hello. Okay, hi, my name is Kimberly. I'm a longtime listener, and I have followed you on Facebook. I actually went through a spell where I unfollowed you on Facebook because I had a problem when you started talking about immigrants and classifying African Americans as DOS.
Uh-huh.
So, and then when Facebook banned you, then I decided to follow you again because I just felt like, you know, even if I disagreed with you, you still have a voice. And it wasn't that I felt you were wrong necessarily. I felt that it wasn't the time for it in terms of immigration. That's what I felt like. I felt like there are other things that are more relevant right now. And talking about African Americans as descendants of slaves and having a special category, that discussion right now is moving us in a direction that's not going to help.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Can I ask you a question? Where you from?
I am originally from Chicago. I'm a black expat. I just have a category. I live overseas. I've been living overseas for 6 years. I've lived in Africa, and right now I'm living in Asia.
So why would you have a problem with me putting the descendants of slaves first? I don't understand.
My problem with that is, you know, when I look at that from a historical perspective, most humans on Earth are descendants of slaves at some point. In history, you had royalty, and then you had everyone else who's primarily under some kind of a slave category. So I felt like calling us descendants of slaves, everybody is a descendant of slaves. So that was one thing. So I felt like I didn't really see the relevance there. Another thing I felt like when you're talking about immigration, you know, immigration is a worldwide problem. You see in Europe, they're dealing with migrants.
I'm an aide there. So they
That's
have
not my problem.
issues. So, immigration is not an American problem. It's a global problem. So I feel like when the position that Black people are in, for us to target immigrants is not going to help our case.
Well, thank you.
So that was my
Thank you, Carla. I appreciate it. I appreciate your explanation, but I don't understand. Like I appreciate the caller. I appreciate the caller for calling in because I really wanted to understand. I appreciate her calling in to kind of break that down for me. Like why they have, but I don't understand. Like, okay, so you went to Asia, you went to Africa, and you decided that everybody comes from slaves. First of all, that's not true.
Yeah.
And first of all, like, where should we as African Americans who come from chattel slaves, why should we be concerned about what happens all over the world? That's not. If there's one thing I want to get across, that's not our moral burden. The moral burden of what happened all across the world is for the people who did it and the people who got money from it. That's not we didn't benefit from that at all. We did not benefit from that. Do you understand? We did not benefit from anybody across the water being put in slavery. But other people did benefit from us. And so that's what we're here for, to lay our claim. So I'm happy that the caller broke that down. I just want to say, like, stop carrying everybody's burden. It's not our burden. Stop carrying everybody. Carry your burden. Carry the burden that we live through.
Our burden's special too. Chattel slavery was different, right? Slavery's been around for a long time. Chattel slavery was different. It was a modern invention. Like, plantation slavery in America was unlike anything the world has known, where cultures are decimated, killed, and then reformed in the image of modern property.
And we still live with them.
Right.
Like, if even the Haitian was bad, but they kicked them out. They don't live with them no more. They live with them in like 100. How long had it been since Toussaint L'Ouverture kicked them out of there? And the Solanians, whatever. How long? Yeah, that's 18. That's 17 now when they kicked them out. They ain't lived with white people for a long time. We still here. We still here. We're a minority. It's not the same thing, people.
We haven't come to terms. If that's the attitude, we haven't come to terms with the damage that's done when you destroy an entire culture. Immigrants come here with a culture.
Yeah.
They come here knowing their grandfather. Like,
don't know nobody.
They come
no
here with
homeland. Don't know nobody.
They come here with a culture. Our culture was destroyed, and then destroyed systematically, and then you were reformed. You were given a new culture that puts you in an image of like a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then once slavery ended, you had 100 years of terrorism. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Like, my mom, like, bless her, she grew up scared of white people.
Yeah.
Like,
and why wouldn't she be though?
I know. I guess I'm an anomaly because I'm not scared of white people. But like that's no way to any culture that comes up where you're scared of like the dominant culture, scared of 60% of your country, you're still under some sort of like duress.
Yeah.
Duress. So like.
And that's part of what makes our claim very distinct, and unlike any other claim. Like I just think you have to like. I don't understand why we can't be selfish. Like, black people just can't be like, no, this is about me. I don't know what you got going on, but this is about me. Like, if you keep talking, I'm gonna put you out the room. Like, we can't do that, but like we got to. We got to. I was having this conversation earlier. I was telling them my family, like, you got all that moral stuff. Like, this is the right thing to do, but ain't nobody ever did right by you. We have, so I don't know. We can go on with the college, but God, man.
Hey there, hey,
Hey, how you doing?
Two things that I want to tell you guys. I'm really enjoying.
Speak up a little bit for me. I can't hear you good.
These are a lot of new ideas, and I really appreciate you saying them. But as you said earlier to the earlier caller, I'm not sure that we should feel bad about discovering these ideas, because sometimes we basically will hear something and feel like we're, on the wrong end of the stick, or kind of, like these are things that we're all discovering kind of as a new age thing. So we really shouldn't feel bad about it. But also, I just wanted to point out that now it seems like everybody wants to uphold this image of like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And I think capitalism is even starting to eat up the white people, and not that I'm really concerned about them per se, but
when you look at the fire festival this past weekend, where you had so many people that paid thousands of dollars trying to go to this private island in the Bahamas, sponsored by Ja Rule of all people. It's like, okay, I'm not, you were like out of the picture 10 years ago, so why would I give thousands of dollars to, your I guess, comeback fund or retirement fund? But anyway, it's just a lot of things that we're kind of discovering, in the past few years, and I just wanted to, as you said, you shouldn't feel bad about these things as we start discovering them. So, good work. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I'll mix with you. Somebody said, you can't hear because I ain't sleeping under a pillow. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't care what happened to people at the Fire Festival. That's what they get investing in something ran by Ja Rule. Ran by 90s.
So here's the deal. You're going to get this a lot of it, and I get this a lot in my email. I get emails too. Some people find me. So we're giving people a lot of knowledge, and we're telling them about themselves, about how much they owe, how much their cousins owe, how much their parents owe, and how much they have. Mm-hmm. And it makes them feel bad, right? To find out that the median black family's only net worth is $1,700 versus the median white family is $116,000. There's a difference. So you're not in the same game. They'll tell you they're in the same game. You're not in the same game. Right, so that knowledge makes them feel bad, and then they start blaming themselves. But that's not helpful. No. Don't blame yourself. No. We're gonna give you the self-knowledge, but we're gonna skip the self-blame and go right to like
somebody said I'm gonna find you, Ivan.
and go right to coming together and figuring out what a politics that will get justice for us looks like.
No, I agree.
All right. So, we can just skip the blame and get right to, one, how did I not know this before? How did I not know that everybody...
Because people are invested in you not knowing this. The reason you did not know this before is because there are people who are invested in you not knowing this. People make money. Let me just say this. People make money on black people being ignorant. Like, people make money on us not knowing about politics or not knowing about how capitalism moves. That's how people make money. They make money off of us not knowing stuff. So how did you not know this? Because there are people who their whole job is to make sure you don't know this. Even these celebrities, their whole job is to make you think, oh, I can do it too. That's their job. Understand that. It's not their whole job isn't to host Family Feud, wink wink. Their whole job is to make you think if you just try hard, you can do it. You can do it, we can all do it. That's their job. So you don't ever investigate and read and be like, is this true? Is this false? You don't do that. You just be like, well, if he can do it, I can do it too.
Yeah, about a third of Wendy Williams' job is to convince you that you could be Wendy Williams.
There you go. And say it again. I said a third of Wendy Williams' job is to convince you that you can be Wendy Williams too. Right. That's what they do.
And there's 42 million black people. Not all 42 million of those black people can be Wendy Williams.
But let's compare this. Right. Lena Horne wasn't going around telling everybody they could be Lena Horne. Right. She was going around helping people during the civil rights movement. If you look up Lena Horne, a lot of women, especially black women, got to speak at the civil rights during the March on Washington because of Lena Horne. She wasn't going around telling people, you too can be Lena Horne. She was going around doing her activism behind closed doors and using her celebrity to get regular black people the microphone. That's what Lena Horne was doing. She wasn't going around telling you if you try hard, you can be Lena Horne. We don't need nobody to do that because that's a lie. We need more Lena Horne. If you're going to talk about black celebrity, we need more Lena Hornes.
Yeah. Okay, so also, we tell people things about the truth about what they have, about the truth about their debt, and the truth about their family's debt, and the truth about their neighbor's debt. And then they don't want to get rid of their old identity, if their old identity was a striver. It's who I am. I just know who I am. And you're trying to tell me I'm not who I think you're trying to tell me that I'm not who I think I am. And they want to hold on to their old identity. They don't want to take the knowledge and incorporate that knowledge. They want to resist the data to hold on to their old identity. And you know what that reminded me of?
What?
It reminded me of this friend I was at a barbecue, and my friend had a 5-year-old. My friend's 5-year-old had to take a poo, but the poo hurt the 5-year-old because the 5-year-old didn't want to let it go. It was mine, the 5-year-old said. It's mine. I don't want to let it go. I don't want.
Kid want to hold on the poo.
He wanted to hold it because it was his. It was his. He didn't want to let it go. He didn't want to accept the truth that it didn't, it's time for it to go. But it was his, and he just wanted to hold on to it.
That's strange.
Yeah, but it's the story. So a lot of folks are like that 5-year-old who just want to hold on to something that you just got to let go.
Yeah, you just gotta let go. You just gotta let go. You just gotta let go. And somebody said, when I was talking about Lena One, somebody said Billie Holiday too. I mean, I sent out a newsletter with a great podcast that included Billie Holiday. And I want to say this, Billie, you know, is Billie Holiday was basically murdered, right? When she came out with Strange Fruit, the head of the narcotics bureau that they started following her and made it to where she couldn't work. She didn't have a license to work because they wanted her to stop singing that song. And she was a heroin addict because of what happened to her in terms of child abuse. And when she went to the hospital, they cut off her, like, you know, methadone or whatever it was that they get people off of, and she died. And that was intentional. And, you know, when I think about stuff like that, people, just that song, like to say, I'm not going to stop singing that song. To think about it was in her day to say, I don't care what the government says, I'm not going to stop singing that song. And when I think about people like that, I wonder if a lot of people like that still exist, to where I'm willing to perish from this planet for my people. I don't care. Like, that's what I look for. When I look for heart, who got heart? Like, you got to start looking for heart. You can't just start looking for, well, he got money. Because a lot of times he got money from white people, and that's not good for you. So when I think of, there's a book, and I think I'll put the book up at some point. I'm trying to design for myself a virtual bookshelf to put all these books up, but and all the books that we'll read while we're doing this together. But that's the story. That's one story that just kind of breaks my heart.
So you gotta ask yourself, how many of these black people are there? How many of these black entertainers or ball players are there to entertain or play ball, and then how many of them are actually there as a form of social control? Like, take Steve.
All there is social control.
So Steve Harvey, if he kept everything the same except actually got political,
it would be over for him. Nobody needs Steve Harvey.
Nobody needs Steve Harvey. Not for that job.
No.
Like, not for that job, because your job is social control. You think your job is basketball. You think your job is baseball. You think your job is football.
Yeah. Somebody mentioned Paul Robeson. You're exactly right. Paul Robeson went through hell.
Yes.
Paul Robeson went through hell. And Jackie Robinson ain't help. But I ain't going to talk about it right now.
You think your job is one thing, but it's really social control.
Yep. And half of them don't even know.
And don't talk to me about these Nigerians who got into 18 Ivy League schools.
Get that news off my channel. I don't want to hear about no Nigerians.
The Nigerians got into 18 Ivy League schools.
And I don't give 2 Fs. I don't give.
Because putting that article in the paper, that job is to make black descendants of slaves.
Like, they're Nigerian, they come from a good family. We don't look at that. We don't look at that. We just look at the fact that they're black. We just see skin color. Oh, they black. They got nappy hair. Oh, how great. We don't look at the fact they didn't even come from you. They didn't go through what you went through. They were treating black people. You don't look at the fact that their family was treating black people in Nigeria the way white people treated us. My ally in Nigeria is still in Nigeria. And not every time, but a lot of times my ally in Nigeria is still in Nigeria. The poor people in Nigeria who be in the streets, that's my ally. The ones who were protesting, like Occupy Wall Street, those people are my allies. But they can't get over here because they ain't got no money.
So the Nigerians who are getting into 9 Ivy League schools.
I ain't got nothing. Go away.
Yeah. Well, we publicize them as a form of social control and to get black.
We publicize them because there's no African American success.
Right.
Like I saw like one, there was an article I put up in the newsletter from QZ, right? And it was black kids, African American kids, but most of these kids, so there's no blacks, so there's no African American success. So they just put these other people. I saw that was in essence that was a young woman who was getting publicized, right? For being the first neurosurgeon, but she too was like, I'm from Ghanaian and I'm from Ghana and I'm going back to Ghana. Well, what the hell are you good to me? You from Ghana, you going back to Ghana, but you in Essence Magazine. What the heck is going on?
She liked that affirmative action though.
Please, yeah, she got the affirmative action, got the hell on. But you'll beat me up in the street over her. And be like, Yvette, she's blacker than you. I don't care. You mean she's darker skinned? That's your measure? You supposed to measure lineage. You crazy turtle. So let's go on. Keep it moving, Ira. You got crazy people, crazy.
Hello?
Hello?
Yvette, am I up?
Yeah, you up?
All right. My name is Jerome. I'm from Birmingham, Alabama, and I wanted to touch on this Michael Jordan situation because it's a little personal to me.
Okay.
All right. Now, you know when he retired from basketball and he played for the Birmingham Barons and moved down here?
Yeah.
And you know, he spent most of his time over the mountain, which is the most affluent white portion of Birmingham, okay?
Yeah.
The only time he actually came to the black side of Birmingham was to go to the club. He didn't visit the schools. He didn't visit any of these places. And so, you know, and these kids still buy his shoes. And they still do it down here. You know, when he was with the team, you know, he bought them a real nice bus so they could travel in. And as soon as he went back to basketball, he took the bus with him. You know, and so, yeah, and so, and you know, when you also talked about, you know, capitalism and all this other stuff like that, at what point do we blame ourselves for still buying this guy's shoes? Because what point do we blame ourselves? Because with all this going on all across the country, and it's not just shoes, it's cars, it's Cadillac. You know, you got people who have 2 kids but still could buy an Escalade and pay a house note on an Escalade. You know, it doesn't make sense. You know, you got people who buy weaves, you know, who spend $200 on weaves when the light's about to go out. You know, it doesn't make sense. So at what point do we stop blaming them and kind of blame ourselves for putting ourselves in this position?
Okay, thank you, caller. I appreciate it. Let me just address that. Those of you who have not, I want you to do something for me right now. There is a great podcast. It's the name of it's free. It's free. You ain't gotta pay nothing. It's On the Media. It's an On the Media podcast, and the series is called Busted, right? And it talks about poverty. It's a multi-series. It's a multi-series thing. It talks about poverty. And what I want you to do, I want you to listen to that. Because one of the things he says, like, what point do we blame ourselves? Like, and one of the excuses people say, well, women who have babies out of wedlock. And here, I want to read something that I pulled up from the podcast, from the On the Media podcast. Women who can see ahead to a college and a future have fewer kids and wait longer to have them because they are primed to wait and plan. Okay? There was a great experiment called the Marshmallow Project, the Marshmallow Experiment. And what it showed was that you would tell a kid, do you want 1 marshmallow now or 2 marshmallows later? And the kids, and sometimes they would tell the kids who had 2 marshmallows later, well, we're sorry, the marshmallows are gone. We know we promised you 2 marshmallows later, but they're gone, right? And so what would happen is this. The kid, if you ask that kid another time, 2 marshmallows, they'll be like, no, I'm going to take the marshmallow right now. Because now they don't trust society anymore. They just get what they can get while they can get it. They don't trust society. So this is what happens with people who make bad decisions. They don't know if tomorrow's going to come or if tomorrow's going to be trusted. That's the psychology of poverty. And poverty changes the brain. The second quote I'll read, it says, the stress of poverty imposes a massive cognitive load on the brain. You miss things. You make more mistakes. It's not about IQ, said one researcher. It's about the context you inhabit. It's not our fault. Like, poverty does this to people. Poverty does this to us. You can't plan. You can't predict. And so you just take whatever's in front of you.
And we're not just poor either. We're also degraded and stigmatized.
That's true.
So,
it's not just poverty. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So
instability's all around.
I agree.
Yeah. It's how many more callers do we have?
I totally agree.
Hey, thank you, Yvette and Artemis. This is Stacy from Freeport, New York. Really appreciating your show. I'm glad to get in tonight. And I just heard what you said about poverty. As an American descendant of slaves, I remember as a little kid dreaming about being locked up in a grocery store and what I would eat.
Oh.
It just came flooding back to me when you spoke about poverty. But I'd like to make one comment, and then I have a question for you both. My comment is there is just such a heavy price to be paid when a black person stands up for our group. And Colin Kaepernick is our most recent casualty. And how do we protect these people? We know about Paul Robeson, some of us, and we know, some of us, about Billie Holiday.
Yeah.
And Lena Horne was just phenomenal. And I'm just learning about her. And it's protecting and knowing and letting these people know you may not have the material success, but you will have us. And we're going to remember you. The other question I have is, what is really owed us if we can go back to the original 40 acres, a mule, and $100 back in 1865 or 1867. What is that worth today? Can we get to that basic number and just say, okay, this is real. This is what's owed us. Let's start from here and not spend so much time trying to figure things out. This is the dollar amount based upon 40 acres, a mule, and $100 back in 1865.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. But it's not just, it's the cost now. Like, what's the cost of 40 acres in prime property? And right now, and I don't want a mule no more. I want a nice horse. Like, what's the cost right now? I think you're right. We need to calculate that and decide like what that is.
Yeah.
Like we need to get very specific in terms of like that would be interesting. We ought to do that. That would be interesting to account for. Like, what is the cost of 40 acres? Like, what? That's just where you are. Like, if you're out there right now, just like, what is 40 acres worth where you are right now? Like, wherever you are right now, what is 40 acres worth today? Like, what is that 40 acres worth today? And that 40 acres, the thing is that 40 acres can have a Walmart on it. That 40 acres can have a Target on it. That 40 acres have a restaurant on it. What is that worth? Where you are or where your ancestors came from. And then you understand.
So we get commercial property too now?
We had stuff that would have been used to build commercial property on.
All right. I get that whole strip mall. I'll take it.
I want more than strip mall. I mean, I don't know what strip mall. But I
want some condos.
I mean, I was reading. I mean, if you get the newsletter, I was reading something that I put a thing in the newsletter about like all the black farmers who, because of the discrimination, like most of them lost it. Like most of the black farmers who were around then aren't around anymore. Specifically because of discrimination. How do you make up for that without reparations? How? You can't just say, oops, we discriminated against all y'all. We sorry. No, don't nobody care about an apology. Like, at what point do we understand apologies are words? They don't matter. I want money. I want money. That's the stuff that secures me in a capitalist society. Money secures me in this space. I'm all right now. I got money. I'll be all right. My kids can be okay. Like, people say financial literacy. When you got money, what good is it counting pennies? I got 3 pennies and 4 pennies. No, when you have money, it's important. So once we get reparations, financial literacy becomes very important. Once you get capital and wealth, financial literacy will become important. It's not important when you don't have nothing, and when what you're supposed to have has been stolen from you. It's not important then. It's important when you get something.
Right.
What you count, you ain't got nothing.
It might actually confuse you now, make you think you're actually in the stock market.
Yeah, it makes you think you're actually something.
Yeah.
You got something to say about the stock market, Aaron?
Well, no, I'm just saying that you got these big players with their $50, $100, $2,000 thinking
I heard somebody said they was investing 3 shares. They said they was going to invest in Snapchat. 3 shares of Snapchat.
3 shares of Snapchat. Good for you.
No, I ain't good for you.
No, it's
you
not
might as well
good.
go buy a burger.
All right. So we do need to be honest about the difference between. The problem is every time someone like Colin Kaepernick gets blacklisted, and then someone like Obama gets $400,000 for giving a speech to healthcare lobbyists after not fighting for single-payer healthcare, it sends the wrong message.
Yeah. And not fighting for black people. Like, what people don't understand, Obama rode to the White House on a wave of Negroes. He rode to the White House on a wave of a historic number of African-American votes. Right. And these Wall Street people, they targeted us with subprime loans. They reduced and killed the little bit of, we didn't have no black wealth, just a little bitty sliver. And they took that. They took it. And this man who was the first black president who oversaw that and punished no one is going to go get money from Wall Street after getting a $60 million book deal. You don't even need no money after $60 million. And Truman and Carter didn't get any money, right? So it's not like everybody got money. Everybody ain't got money. Trevor Noah's an idiot. Of the Daily Show, he's an idiot. Let's just start calling idiots. So let's take the last call, Aaron.
Yeah.
Trevor Noah.
Hi, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Oh, hey, Yvette Carnell and Mr. Army. Honored to speak to you both.
Hey.
My comment is about the economics that you speak about a lot about for black people. And I'm from the Midwest.
Okay.
And I know you know about Tulsa and the Black Wall Street and all the things that happened there. But those people didn't disappear. You know, their belief systems and logic and philosophies were taught to other people. And I'm one of the descendants of those type of people. And I grew up with doctors and elementary school teaching me. And I had a lot of people who had achieved a lot come back to school and teach me, and many other black children. But one of the things they taught us is you can't tell everybody how successful you may be or what you know. And a lot of our black economics that is successful is a very quiet economics. You know, it's not going to be publicized. You know, the people we see publicized, that's the money they got from others, not the money they earned and is the wealth of themselves that gets passed on from generation to generation.
That's true.
That's true.
So one of the things I do is to teach other people, but sometimes you have to do things quietly. And I appreciate the way you speak strongly to people, because you can't pacify people and make them feel sorry for their suffering. You just have to say, you just got to do this. So the question I have for you is, what do you plan to do with the value of yourself to make yourself known bigger? Because a lot of people do need to learn from you, and I know you get a lot of criticism, but you're the person I would say would be the president of Black America myself.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, brother. Dang, that's a lot.
All right.
Like.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Yeah. I'm a quick finger. It was not my finger.
I thought that was it.
He thought he did come back, but it wasn't your fault that time. He did come back and say, "Oh, by the way, that wasn't your fault that time. That wasn't your fault."
It happens very quickly.
It happens very quickly. I just got the reflexes of a cat. But I mean, in terms of what the man was saying, like in terms of what I plan to do, I just want to grow. Like I just want to grow. I just want to grow, and to the point to where I have, when you have a lot of black people behind you, you have leverage. Like that's the point where you have leverage, where you can say, "Listen, I got my people back here.
Yeah.
I got my people back here. So what you gonna do? I got my people here." Like remember that scene in Malcolm X? Who was just like he just put up his hand and it was done.
Yeah.
Like that's leverage. That's when you have leverage in your community.
Look,
nothing works if you don't have leverage. You just gotta grow. Like right now, we just only have 20,000. We could grow.
If we have 500,000 black people subscribed, Yvette will get in that White House briefing room.
Yes, again. I mean, like think about what you have to donate. You could afford. Like if you have that many people subscribed and that many people donating, you can get people to do actual investigations. You can get real reporters.
We can have Breaking Brown reporters.
We can have a person in the White House. We can have Breaking Brown reporters. We can be doing investigative stories. We can be doing all of that. So I think in terms of what I want to do, I want to look like if you ask me like what's your dream? I want to change the conversation, the entire conversation, the way that it changes politics. Like right now, we got people listening to MSNBC, Fox, all that stuff is BS.
Because what's their job? BS. Do you think their job is to be a reporter? But what's their job?
Social engineering.
The black social control. That's their job.
If we don't have any control, I just want to control. Like I just want to control black media. I want to control this part of black media. That's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. And to the point to where like black people know what the deal is. Like we got people right now on our stuff that know what the deal is. Yes. But that ain't everybody. Like I want everybody to be like the people on my page right now who know exactly what's going on. Like, and then we're feeding information all the time. We got black reporters. We got black people who are doing investigative reports. We got a person at the White House asking Sean Spicer questions because we got real black media. That's what I want to do.
With 500,000 subscribers, we could actually
do it. We can do that.
We don't have to be LaVar Ball being and one person.
Because I don't want to bring like where you get people to. I want to pay people. Like I want to pay people money. Like people don't need to. Like you can't eat off air. You got to pay people money. So that's in terms of what I would do. That's what I want to do. Like, but you got to get people to subscribe. You got to get like this is stuff that you have to build up to that moment. But I want to hit on something else that he said. He said something about Black Wall Street, And I want to say that, like, I saw an article like 3 years ago, 3 years ago, where one of the members of one of the people who suffered through Black Wall Street was like 100 and something years old. And this was during the Obama administration. And Obama, as president, never ensured that these black people who had their towns burnt down and their wealth taken from them got reparations. Like, even if you can't say, well, Yvette, you know, you don't get reparations. That's BS. But even if you say that, these people suffered directly from white mobs coming into their community, from racist mobs coming to their community. And Obama never even made sure that they got it. He made sure the Holocaust victims got it. But he didn't make sure that the descendants of Black Wall Street who are dying now got reparations. If that doesn't tell you who Obama is and who Obama was as a person, I don't really know what to